Setting up, redirecting, and good evening. Welcome to Monday Night Paws. I'm going to minimize this in the corner because it's really distracting seeing yourself move a moment later. So sorry for being a minute late there. Good old technology, you gotta love it when it works, not so much when it doesn't. So, Monday Night Paws. This is your opportunity to work on your canine business rather than in your canine business. My name's Elizabeth Hack, and I'm here to look after you this evening, and we're going to talk about emotional intelligence. I've been reading the book by Daniel Goleman, and I've got some top lessons and tips that I feel are going to be really amazing for you in the week ahead in your canine business. But first of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you for listening to this live. I love seeing you here, and anyone that's watching this on the replay, thank you for taking a moment out of your busy schedule to join us and to work on your business. The reason for doing a Monday Night Pause is to take literally a pause. Life's busy, I get it. So this is your opportunity to go, okay, so what are my focuses for the week ahead? I will also hopefully bring you some new lessons, or if they're not new lessons, then just remind you of the amazing lessons in business and life and personal development, business development, finances, like just where I can bring you value. You're going to hopefully get some new lessons from a Monday Night Pause too. And hopefully some action steps for the week ahead too, because actually something that we learned from Emotional Intelligence, the book, is that when you are struggling with melancholy or sadness or frustration, the best thing to do is to start making small steps, get those small wins under your belt to help drive you forward. So that is another reason for the Monday Night Pause. So as I said, I'm Elizabeth. I spent the last decade looking after independent business owners across different niches, so I know that the content that I can deliver for you will create results for you in your business. I'm also a dog groomer, a dog trainer in training. I spent an amazing day shadowing a dog trainer yesterday. Shirley, she's one of our community members. Hey Shirley, thanks so much for that. And I've also launched dog grooming salons, cafes, hotels in the UK and internationally. So doing that startup and bringing that drive forwards from a business is something that I excel at and something that I love serving and helping people with. I'm also a mother to a 7-month-old, so I know how crazy life can be. And you know, if you're a mother to multiple dogs, I know how crazy your lives can be. The reason for a pause is for me just to serve you. Let's jump in, let's focus, and then jump out and carry on with our crazy lives. Interaction is encouraged, so feel free to comment and like, and you can register to join me in the Zoom room so that you can actually be here with me as well. So if you are interested, let me know and we can get that looked after. Here at Canine Care Hub, we're a team, and the other most crucial member of our team is the wonderful Rachel. So any questions or queries, we're both here to look after you as well. So let's get into it. Emotional intelligence. Daniel Goleman says that emotional intelligence is how we handle ourselves, lead ourselves, and handle our relationships. And if you look at the etymology of the word emotion, etymology is the study of words, motion means to move or to act. So how many times have you been overtaken by your emotions and you act in the moment, and actually if you had managed that emotion, you maybe wouldn't have acted in that way? You know, you've said something out of place in an argument with your partner, you've you know, had some road rage when someone's cut you up. This is your emotions at play. And actually, when you automatically react to things, this is your body's nature way of protecting you. And really at the start of the emotional intelligence book, Daniel Goleman digs into murderers and like them getting taken over by their emotions. Really interesting listen. Not my type of listening. I'm not a crime detective kind of person. I kind of like things a bit light. So that was an intense part of the book, but really interesting as well. So the term emotional intelligence can really be defined within 5 domains based on Daniel Goleman's book. The first one is emotional self-awareness. Your ability to know and recognize what emotion you're feeling and when. This can be a challenge for some people. And just being aware and being able to name the emotion that you're feeling in that moment. Later on, this is a way that he talks about how to manage those emotions too. So like if you're feeling anger or if you're feeling sadness, actually knowing and labeling that emotion is super powerful. And actually Chris Voss talks about this. He is the FBI negotiator in hostage situations. I had the pleasure to speak to him live on an event within the lockdown. I adore him, and when he negotiates with terrorists that have hostages. Oh my god, I can't talk. This is a mum brain happening right here. He has to get that on board with their emotions as well. So actually, he's incredibly emotionally intelligent in what he does. 5 domains. First is self-awareness. Do we know what we're feeling and how we're feeling it? Number 2 is emotional self-regulation. Do we know how to manage those emotions? Do we navigate the sea of emotions that we can feel in a day or week? 3 is self-motivation. Having that drive, that passion, and that the inner needs and goals to get us where we need to be. I discussed on last week's Monday Night Paws the importance of 90-day goals, but even having micro goals in a day is something super beneficial when moving your business forwards, particularly if you're starting your business and you're just trying to get that crank moving. Actually, having those micro wins is a great way to keep that motivation going, and knowing your why, which is the passion that he's talking about in point number 3. Point number 4 is empathy, your awareness of emotions of others, and actually using that to really listen to what they're saying. This is super powerful when you're interacting with your dog owners, and getting the true emotion from them of how they're feeling about a scenario. So if you're a dog groomer and you're checking a dog in and you can tell that that owner is slightly anxious, it might be that they believe that their dog's going to get skinned, quote unquote skinned. They've had a bad experience with a groomer before. We need to know that kind of stuff from them, and actually being aware of their situation will actually build that rapport for you too, which will lend itself to the sale of your services too. If you're a dog trainer and someone's inquiring with you, being able to understand their true driving factors for having their dog looked after and why they might want to choose you as a trainer versus somebody else in your area. So the ability to listen to what they're truly saying and being conscious of any non-verbal communication that you may be feeling from them, and actually being able to label that back to them. Like, you seem a bit nervous. Is there anything else that I'm missing? Yes, I'm super nervous because I don't want my dog to get hit or anything like that. And then you can delve into, no, we don't use positive punishment here in this training facility. You know, we use this method, and you can lay that out for them. So it all gives you an opportunity to get on the same page with other people, which is what point number 5 is: social skills or handling others. So the ability to pick up on jokes, sarcasm, and finding common ground with your clients is a great way to build rapport. And it's also all the studies in this book. Why I love this book is there's a lot of actual studies. So he quotes Yale and Sheffield, and you know, all of these studies that have been done over time, so that everything that he says in this book is cemented in truth and reality. This isn't, I think that we can just get on better by doing this. No, he has all the studies lined up to help us improve our emotional intelligence. So there's a few major lessons that are takeaways from this book. And if you want to jump into a call and go through all the lessons with me, then I'm more than happy to do so. I'll get Rachel to drop a link underneath this for you to jump on a one-on-one call with me. If any of this strikes a chord and this is something that you'd like to work on for yourself, we can absolutely set up a call for that. But there's kind of 2 major lessons that I wanted to bring into this Monday Night Pause, because again, it's a pause. I don't want to be here forever. That I wanted to focus on for you guys. First one is ventilation fallacy. So the fact that venting an emotion, a feeling, actually prolongs the mood rather than ends it. So particularly when you're angry, this is something I can hold my hands up and say I've done in the past, where I've just phoned a friend, or in the grooming salon is a perfect scenario for this. You're annoyed about something, we come on in, we're drying our dogs and we're venting what's happening. So what this book identifies is that actually venting when you're angry doesn't lessen the mood, and there's actually a lot of negative repercussions that happen if you're constantly angry in your body. So actually there was a study against like heart attacks and the pressure valves through the heart, like as your blood pressure rises whilst you're angry. So actually it's a really negative thing to stay in that anger or angst. However, on the flip side, if you are feeling sad, then actually venting is super helpful, because it helps your feelings get validated. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that empathy and sympathy from others when we are in a low mood. So anger is you're in a high agitated state, and sadness you're in a low agitated state. So in a low state, you need the people around you to help you bring you up. Which is one of the lessons is emotions are a contagion. So if you are upbeat and energized and are someone that can really bring the mood into the party, that rubs off on others. And this is why a great core value, or something that some businesses instill in their team members, is all drama ends at the front door. And what that means is whatever's going on in your life, that's your life. When we step through these doors, we are here for the clients and here for the dogs in front of us. I mean, it's also he doesn't study dogs in this book, but it's also, you know, you guys are intelligent. You know that your dog knows whether you're happy or sad. So if a dog's coming in to get treated by you, let's say you're a vet physio, that dog is going to feel if you're not bringing a great energy into that room. So actually that ability to park things and focus and get into flow state within your work is super beneficial for your life, for your health, and to help you serve your dogs, which is what we're here for. I just think that was a real big lesson. It was like, whoa, venting when you're negative, actually what that's doing is bringing more negative energy in. Whereas if we park it and focus on the positives, then we can actually accelerate through that mood and create a mood that's more welcoming and an environment that we need, that we want and need for our businesses. Although it's so much easier said than done. Like I am angry, what are some action steps that I can take to better my mood, ready to better the dogs in my community? So he does lay this out in the book. The first step is deep breaths. So if we breathe in for 4 and breathe out for 4. You can also breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and breathe out for 4. I genuinely feel calmer just from those deep breaths. This, again, a great tactic, ready for when you're wrestling that dog on the table if you're a groomer, or when your training seems to be going awry with a dog, it's too interested in sniffing the fox poo that's on the ground. Actually taking those deep breaths is a great way to reset. What's her name? Mel Robbins has a fantastic technique where she counts backwards from 5, and actually that change of focus in her brain gets her back on track as well. So another method. Count backwards from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. Now let's go again. And then the second lesson, I kind of have darted around all the other lessons whilst encompassing that one lesson. Another lesson is don't ruminate when you're feeling low or in a sad mood. Don't ruminate. So letting your thoughts just keep overrunning and overflowing through your brain is not going to help you solve it. And he does discuss about how worrying kind of feels good because it feels like you're doing something, but only worry always ends in worry, and worry always ends in tragedy. There's somehow a worry about misbooking a dog in, kind of, if you let it run its course, ends in like death. It was his points, not mine. So how do we stop ourselves from ruminating? So what we do is we go, what can I do in this moment? Small task, small win. If that's at home, like, can I just make my bed quickly? Great, start the day well, make my bed. If this is in the grooming salon, can I just sweep up some hair quickly? Like a little win that's going to make the environment better, and you can visually see it, and you can give yourself that pat on the back that you deserve. Another great way when you're feeling low is to exercise. So exercise, cardiovascular work, so that's just walking can raise your mood. Again, it's a low vibrational state, and you want to bring yourself up, and exercise is a high state. So getting some movement in you. My partner's a personal trainer, so I definitely know the power of movement and positivity that can bring it into your life when you need it. Also, reframing. So if you're getting stuck on an issue, a great way to use reframing is asking yourself, what could I be learning here? What is this trying to teach me? And that sounds daft, and it will feel daft, but actually the science behind it, and the reframing going, like, you know, if you're on the road, someone cuts you up, and if you automatically go, what an idiot, actually reframing it and going, what could be happening in their world? Oh my God, there could be an emergency. Like, it creates so much more empathy in that situation, depending on how you're feeling about it. So actually trying to find a reframe can be great. And actually going back to road rage, one of the most amazing books that I first ever read as a teenager was Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And one of the lessons that sticks with me to this day is let them have their accident elsewhere. So, you know, the situation, you're poodling along, quite happy, sing along to music, and someone drives up behind you and they're really close and they're like pushing you along the road. Back in the day, I would have been like, get off my ass, like fake braking or something like that. I'd be an idiot, basically. But in the book, they say, just pull over, let them have their accident elsewhere. They obviously need to be somewhere quick, or they're just a person that is being like that. So let them go do it somewhere else. So actually, that the pulling in, and I do that regularly. I'll just like, okay, I'll just pull in. I'll let you have your accident elsewhere. Great life lesson. Finally, in ruminating, and something that I'm very proud of in Canine Care Hub is help others. When you're struggling with something, actually the act of helping others, charity work is something that Daniel Goleman mentions quite a lot in his book. Helping someone else through a challenge of their own is a great way to really feel fulfillment in yourself. Plus, it's just good karma and you're helping the world. So help someone out this week. Your action steps for the week ahead are label some emotions as they come up for yourself. See if you can read emotions in tomorrow's day of clients, and see who you can lend a helping hand to this week. Is it a neighbour that's moving? Is it a friend who needs a break from their kids and offered to go and read them a book while they go have a shower? I don't know what the help may be that you offer someone this week, but I would love to hear about it. Thank you for joining Monday Night Paws. It's a pleasure as always, and we will see you next week at 8:15. Have a lovely evening.